Hey guys, how are you? Mike Zagari here. Now, a lot of you have noticed that product targeting is available inside of Seller Central. It's in beta mode, but they're releasing it slowly for a lot of sellers. I know new features are available to us. It seems like every day, for the last couple of days, we've had some new features released to us. So I wanted to shoot a quick video on how I think you can start to take advantage of all this. Now, we are going to have an updated 2019 Blueprint series where I'll go over step by step how to take advantage of this based on some of the campaigns that we're setting up right now. But I wanted to give you my take right away on what you can do to take advantage of product targeting. Now, I just did a really thorough look into the difference between product targeting and like the category targeting versus individual product targeting. So there are some subtle differences. So pay attention to this video and let's dive through it together. Now, as you can see, I am inside of Seller Central, create a campaign, and what I'm talking about for those of you who haven't seen this before is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to create a campaign. We're going to call this product campaign, and there we go. I'm going to go down and just do a normal campaign setup. Set up a daily budget of $10. Now, what I'm talking about is in the manual targeting. Now, if you go to manual targeting, as long as you have this feature available to you, you're going to see that it looks kind of normal to begin with. You can then select your best product or your best ASIN for the particular child variation. Let's see, cat litter mat. Let's do this one here. Okay, now as I go down, you're going to see that there's keyword targeting and now product targeting, which is in beta mode. So what it says is choose specific products, categories, brands, or other product features to target your ads. Now, sponsored products is fairly simple. You know, we have the blueprint. It goes over how to target keywords, broad phrase, match type, all that kind of stuff. Now, the product targeting does make it more complex. I'm going to try to simplify the heck out of it on this video based on what I'm noticing so far. But if I select product targeting, now what Amazon is going to do is they're going to allow you to do category targeting or individual product targeting. Now, what is the difference? Okay, so, and this took me a little while to go through it and kind of figure out, so hopefully this will save you some time. Category targeting is when somebody is on Amazon and they're shopping through different categories. Let's say they start with a search term of cat toys and they start to refine their search using the category selection on the left-hand side. These are the different categories that they can see. So let me show you an example here. I'm going to go to Amazon. I'm going to type in cat toys. And if you type in cat toys, you're going to see that if somebody was using the keyword cat toys, now this is keyword targeting, then this particular ad, it could show up for this particular keyword. But if you look over here in the category, it's in the all category, all departments category. So now let's say a shopper is coming through, they type in cat toys, and they start to look down the page, and maybe they want to refine their search. Now here's where the category section comes into play. As you can see, there's the any category, which we're right now all category. There's the pet supply category. That's a more broad category. Then we have it's more narrowed down into cats, and then it gets narrowed down even further to toys, balls, and then all sorts of things, and you can see more down here. So now, theoretically, when shoppers are looking through these different categories, Amazon is allowing us to target either the broad category of pet supplies or these more narrowed down targeted categories of balls, feather toys, catnip toys. Okay? So if you go inside of Amazon Seller Central, you can see that they've broken it down. Our main product, they've broken it down into the 3 categories. It kind of stems down. We start off at cat supplies. That's our main category. Then the next thing that describes our categories, we're in the cat litter and housebreaking category. Kind of branches out, and then the third branch is the cat litter mats. That's the most specific category for a particular product. And Amazon is giving us the ability to target all 3. Now, if you were a shopper and you were looking for, now we're looking at cat toys, but imagine we were looking for the litter mats. They would show up, those categories would show up over here, okay? So now these are the different subcategories related to the overall category that you can target. Amazon is going to suggest the ones based on the categories that you've selected for your product. And that's great, but it's very, very broad, right? So what this means is if you target these 3 different categories, and let's say somebody types in, let's use litter mats as an example, just to make it more precise. If you type in litter mat, now we're looking at all departments. Now let's say somebody says, oh, you know, I want to be more precise. Let me look into this category. Well, the cat litter mat category is right over here. So if somebody's going over here and going into cat litter mat category, now the sponsored ad will show up because we are targeting this category. See, we're in the cat litter mat category, and now our ad can show up over here. Also, we can choose other categories. We could choose the litter and housebreaking. We could choose cats. We can choose pet supply. So keep in mind that the category section, I believe the category section is for browsers, people who are utilizing this section over here to browse through different products to see what they like better. And they're going to browse through different categories, and then your ad is going to show up on the category page, like right over here. Now, they also give you the ability to select the brand. So you can select this brand to show up. You can select our brand. You can select all these different brands. And Amazon will allow you to refine the categories by the brand. And you can do the same exact thing. So this means if a shopper is looking at, let's say, litter mat, and now they're refining their search, your ad can show up on those refined searches. So on this display page. So basically, you can break it down by the brand you want to target, which kind of limits you, because keep in mind, these are for people who are shopping the category and then refining that category search by the brand. Also, the price range. So this is cool because some shoppers are looking for certain price ranges, and you can position your products on page your product on categories that are a lower price point or a higher price point. Like you could play it so that if your product is $16.99, you can target the ones that are $17.99 or above, because it's a price play at that point. You're lower price point than your competition. You could also do it by reviews. Let's say you have a 5-star product. You can target all of the products that have between 0 and 4 stars. This way, when somebody sees your product, it's got a higher review compared to your competition. But just keep in mind, these are for people who are browsing through this section over here. The average reviews, the price point, all of this stuff over here. I know me as a shopper, and I am not a browser. I put in a keyword that I want. I do not really typically go over to the section. That is just me. I'm like the type of guy who just likes to get things done, get it off my mind. But there are people that are browsing through these different categories, and that's where our ads are being shown. So now that leaves the, let's make sure that let's cancel this out. Those are the different categories that you have options for. Now, what you could also do is you can search for different categories. And like, let's say you go over to Amazon and you're like, well, those 3 categories are great, but I want to also be shown for cat toys because it's related to what I'm selling. Or I want to show for cat scratcher, which is a more precise category inside of cat toys. Well, you can do that. You can just search for it right over here and add that category. Keep in mind, guys, the more broad of a reach you go, the lower your bid price should be. Let me say, because if you start to target just like cat toys and you're selling cat litter mats, well then what's going to happen is cat toys could be a very expensive category. So you may want to try to find the low-hanging fruit inside of cat toys. So you may want to try to find like, or bid on that category, but only like 75 cents or 50 cents or 60 cents. Just because you want to get that visibility and reach, but you don't want to spend a lot of money doing it. And the more narrowed in, the more exact match your category is, like for cat litter mat or for litter mat category, that's when you can start to bid a little bit higher, okay? So I would suggest setting up some test campaigns and think about it like this. The more precise your category is, the more you want to spend on targeting that category, because people are looking specifically for that category. They're shopping, they're browsing, and they're likely, more likely going to shop for your product. The less specific and relevant your category is, the lower you want to make your bid price. Think of it as like a broad match. You want to go, you're going wide, but you want to make sure you don't spend a lot of money doing so. Okay? So one more thing with the categories. Let's say you go in the cat supplies and we want to refine that. Once again, you could select the brands that you want to refine. So if somebody's searching in the cat supply category and they also look for one of these brands, your ad could show up. And you could also do it by price range or by star rating. I know I kind of mentioned this a little bit before. We're toying and playing around with this stuff because it's so brand new. But what I've tried successfully so far is I've targeted a lower price point. So basically, I selected all the brands, and what I've done was I did a 0 to $15.99 price point. Now there's 519 to 865 products that we're targeting. Actually, guys, excuse me, I reversed that. I actually went above. So our price point is $16.99. I did like $17 to, let's say, $25. Let's see, 17. There we go. Okay, so now there's 17. 1 second. 46 products that are a higher price point than ours, and we're coming in and we're showing our ad on the ones that are higher. We did very well with this so far. You could also do it the reverse, where we're going like based on star rating. So now we could also target the ones that have lower star rating. We have 4.5 stars. We could target the ones that have 4 stars, okay? So as you can see, there's more options. With more options, sometimes it becomes a little overwhelming, and we're still playing around with this and coming up with new ideas. So any ideas that you guys have, feel free to let us know. We're inside of the Facebook group. Feel free to let us know. Now, the next thing that you can do, and this I am really excited about. Let me create a campaign. I'm going to go back into this. Sponsored products. We're going to go, there we go. Let's pick a product. The next thing you could do inside of product targeting is you can go into individual products. Now, individual products, Amazon is going to see what's related and allow you to target individual products, which is pretty cool. Just letting you know, though, it can get very expensive if you don't choose the right ones. You can probably rack up ad spend if you don't choose the right ones. So if you target all, that's great. You can test it out very much like a research campaign. You can set up a low bid price and you can target all and see which one sticks. That's an okay, way to go about it. There's other ways to go ahead and do it. You can target your competition. You can target your competition that has a higher price point or a lower review count, like we said before, the individual ASINs that way. But the way that we're testing out right now, and the way that I think is going to be really helpful, is to utilize the information inside of your search term report. So we're going to head on over to PPC Entourage. We're going to go over to search term expansion, and we're going to look at all of the ASINs that have a winning ACOS percentage of 30% or less. I'm gonna type in this product here, and then all of the campaigns are going to show up. I'm going to select all. Let's just do that for example's sake. Yeah, let's select all. What we're doing right now is we're looking for the individual ASINs that have connected to this product profitably through the search term report, meaning somebody went on a listing, saw my product, and purchased it profitably. Like, I made money on this. So what we can do now is you're going to see that the ASINs are removed in the report here. I'm going to uncheck that, and I'm going to uncheck new keywords only. And now here's all of the ASINs from the automatic campaigns. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to type in B0. And now all of the ASINs that have lots of orders are going to show up. Let's see how many there are. 35. Okay, 35 ASINs. Great. Now what I'll do is I'll double click by orders. Okay, now some of these, what I would suggest is the ones that have 2 or more orders. Now let's also do this, guys. Go back deep into the report. Let's go back 120 days. Now we're at 404 orders, okay? That's a lot more. 55, 20, 15, 10, and the list, this is really good. So what we can do now is we can go to 50, or even let's show 100, and they're all on one page, 100, all on 2 pages. Now let's target only 2 or more, okay? So we can filter this out with orders of 2 to 50. Let's do order 100. There we go. Apply that. So now that we've filtered this out, we have all of the winning ASINs that we want to target. And what we're going to do is we're going to select all. We're going to copy to clipboard. And here we go. Copy this to clipboard. We're going to go back over and we're going to enter this list in. And this is, I think, is going to be one heck of a strategy. Now, let's go over targeting. There is an issue here. Okay, guys, so the ASINs weren't added, so I have to look into that. I think this is an issue with Seller Central because the ASINs weren't added, but that's interesting. Let's see. Let's go over here. Let's say the ASINs were added. Then you're going to get the product that shows up, and you're going to get a suggested bid and a bid price. So now we have to ask ourselves, what are we going to bid on this thing? What are we going to bid? If you use the strategy that I just showed you and you're targeting the ASINs that you know are successful, then you could probably bid aggressively. In this case, I know for a fact that this particular product is almost the #1 product in the pet supply category. If I started bidding 267 for this visibility, I would lose my shirt. I know it because I've done it before. So what I would suggest doing is going through the search term report and bidding on those ASINs because they've already made a connection. There's already been they've already profitably sold for your product. So I would suggest doing that, and then also coming up with a moderate bid price and testing it out. If you do not get any impressions, you can always raise the bid price. So start there, no impressions, raise the bid price up. The beauty of this is once you go in, and I will show you what this looks like inside of Seller Central. If you go to Campaign Manager, at one of our most recent campaigns, we just set up a bunch of campaigns, and here is one that is doing really well so far. I really like how this is going. 45% equal cost to start. We just set it up. If we go in here, you're going to see that the targeting is you can break everything down. So the category. And it's broken down by the individual brand that we selected in the category page. But also, if you select the individual products, they're going to be listed down over here. The individual products, the ASINs, are going to be listed down like this. And then you can start to adjust the keyword bid prices based on whether or not you're getting impressions. So what you can do is go over and customize the columns and then add impressions. And you can see that some of these, we're getting a really good this is really awesome right here. Some of these are getting no impressions. So we want to jack up the bid prices to try to get some impressions for this particular brand, that we're targeting. Now, keep in mind, guys, this is category targeting. I was just talking about individual product targeting, right? Totally different, but if you target individual products, they're going to show up over here as well underneath different products, okay? So now this is a lot of information. The one last thing that you could do is negative targeting. So you could add negative product targeting. So just like you can exclude brands, you could also exclude products. What you can do is, let's say, for me, Dr. Elsie's cat litter is so expensive. Every time we try to target that, we lose a lot of money. So I could do Dr. Elsie's here, and I could exclude that brand. But what I could also do is I can go into exclude products, and I can head on into PPC Entourage. And then what I can do is I can do a crazy search here, and I can go like to 150 ACOS and do the exact same process, but I can then find the ones that are just costing me a ton of money and do it in reverse. So let's say 150, let's say continue, and now it's thinking, okay, now if I go on ACOS, some of them are much higher. See how some of them are going to be in their 70s. So now what we can do is we can filter these out, get rid of the 2 or more orders. We're going to go to ACOS that's going to be higher. Let's say like between 50 and above. So you could do it that way. 50 to 200. And click apply. And now we have a bunch of ASINs that we can do a negative mask type on. Copy to clipboard, copy, and you can go ahead. You can look at them individually. By the way, guys, you can look at them on Entourage. You don't have to just do like, you know, all of them at once. You can do by number of orders. You can also click on the search term and the product is going to show up. So this is not a good match. You know, it's not a good match. So we want to do a negative on this product. It didn't successfully connect. The other thing, last thing on this video, guys, negative targeting is going to be, let's hone in on, now this is not going to show up over here. So never mind, guys. It's not going to show up in the search term report. I want to find the individual ASINs that have 0 sales. So what I would do is I would head on over to campaign optimization, because that means we spent money on this ASIN and it had 0 sales. That's never a good thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to head over to bulk optimization. No, let's do bulk optimization. And we're going to find the search term bulk optimization, and we're going to select. The litter map, the campaigns we want to select. Okay, select those. We are then going to select all of the ad groups, and now we want to find the products that have 0% ACOS. So between 0 and 0 ACOS. And let's give this a go. Guys, this is the first time I'm doing this, so hang tight. Let's make sure this is the way to go about it. I believe it is. Yes. So now we have a bunch of search terms, and let's go B0. There they are. Okay, found them. Great. So these are the ones that you can do a negative on, right? So just to backtrack, I'm going into our campaigns and I'm finding all of the ASINs that have clicks but no sales, right? Check this out. Clicks, racking up ad spend, no sales. What I can do is I can double click on this. These are the worst offenders. Then I can go ahead and I can go back. I think we're already at, okay. We're already at a bunch of, okay. So I could just select these and simply do I could copy these, and there we go. I don't think you can actually copy these right now, but that's we could add that as a feature. Okay, guys, so these are different ways to optimize and different ways to expand based on the new categories inside of Seller Central. It's product targeting, which is really category targeting, and product targeting. Very different in my eyes, very different. And there's also negative targeting. So it's a little bit more complex, but go ahead and test. We want to see what works. Use Entourage to find the best ASINs and to find the negative targeting ASINs. I think the best strategy is going to be finding the ASINs that have clicks and sales, profitable sales, and targeting those ASINs inside of your search term report. I suggest starting there. And then keep in mind, back to the beginning of the video, that category targeting is for when people are shopping and browsing over here, okay? Now, just one quick thing before we end this video here. So let's say people are shopping in the pet supply category, and they do their refined search, and they want to see this particular brand and this particular brand, right? They're searching through 2 brands. Your ad, if you're targeting this combination, will show up over here in the category section. Now, if you're targeting a specific product, that means if somebody clicks into the product, and let's say I'm targeting this product because it connected successfully, now my ad is going to show up over here. Keep that in mind. Category targeting versus product targeting. This is where the sponsored products are going to show up, over here. Okay, so it is different. They kind of lumped it all together, and it took me a little while to figure it out. So I hope this video explains it quickly and easily. And go ahead and test some things. Let me know. I hope you guys found this video helpful. Happy holidays.